And we live. Hey, everybody. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the Village Guy. Of course, those that haven't heard a conversation of mine before, this is a platform where we showcase people of Paul doing amazing things, Paul and Wellington, doing amazing things, following their dreams, following their passions. And yeah, it's been a hectic year. So we ended off with a bash. And one of those people that's following their dreams and probably had a very exciting 2020 is Beata Bena. She is from Paul, but she grew up elsewhere. We'll find out where she grew up, but we're claiming her. And yeah, so she's an actor, she's an entrepreneur, she's a public speaker. She's got a lot of, her CV is quite long. And she's just had an exciting 2020. I've been trying to get hold of her. I don't know when, probably since when I started, and she's just very busy. So, I'm very fortunate that she's given me some time to chat to her tonight at 9 o'clock. So, thank you so much for your time. Madam, welcome, and how are you?
Thank you so much. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
We're happening. How's 2020 been?
It's been eventful. It's been very eventful. A lot of good, a lot of stressful things happening, but I'm glad we all got through. Well, not we all, but we're at the end of the year and we can celebrate it with the people that are still with us and just look forward to a prosperous and good 2021.
Cool, man. Yeah, and just by the way, where are we in South Africa? Are we in South Africa? Are we not in South Africa? Where are we? Because I always have to ask that. I don't know where the people are.
We as in you and I, or we as in me?
Where are you?
I'm in Johannesburg.
Okay, cool. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So tell us a bit about let's just jump right into it. Tell us a bit about the Sewende Laan journey. I see you on the Maandag tot Vrydag tussen 6 en 7 op Sewende Laan. And tell us, Krishanda, also known as Shady. How's that going? How's that experience been so far?
Oh, it's been so exciting. Like, I moved here all the way from Cape Town for the first time. I've been staying here for such a long period of time, and everybody's been so incredibly welcoming. And the environment at work is just so great and so conducive for just doing a great job. So I'm having so much fun. And the character, Shady is a fun and interesting character to play. So I feel very blessed, very privileged. Yeah.
Whenever I chat to people in the art like yourself, actors, I always find that so interesting that when you are aspiring actress or actor, you always see these people on the big screen and you look up to them. And then 10 years later, those people are still on the big screens and you come and now you're in the same series with, big stars that you always thought, wow, this is amazing. So, what is it like? Because Sewende Laan is probably one of the biggest in South Africa. So you starstruck. You have to control yourself when you see all these big stars.
No, I'm not starstruck. It's funny when you work in the industry for a little while, even just a few months, you start getting used to it. Well, I do, and because I was at another show with other cast members from Sewende Laan as well before playing Shady, I actually got introduced to like how I respond to seeing people I've been watching while I was growing up. So when I got here, I was very well prepared. I was able, I thought I would freak out a little bit, but I was able to communicate as myself and build proper professional relationships. But it's amazing. You learn every single day from these people, and it's also surreal. You look at life and you realize how precious it is and how great having a dream is, and that anything is possible. And that's so inspiring, and I just want to tell more and more people, if you see something and you want it, you can go and get it if you put in the work, really.
Yeah, but of course, it's not it's not like you're going to Sewende Laan not being part of amazing cast or actresses. You've been on Arend's Fly as well, so I would think some people on Sewende Laan are like, "Oh yeah, Beata is here." They're probably a bit starstruck when you come.
I don't know if that's true, but there were a few people that watched the show back at Sewende Laan as well that said, "Oh, I remember you as Kim." So that was funny. It was very funny.
So tell me, like, when you walk around, are you like noticed? Is like that's shady, that's stuff shady? How's that? I mean, that's Kim stap in die ronde. Do you ever get that?
Well, the last time I was in the Western Cape, I was still Kim. That was pre-shady. So everyone that would recognize me as Kim. But Kim was also not always likable, so people would be very annoyed when they would see me. You know, yes,
Mm.
Kim, and look at Kim, and
Yeah.
why are you like that on TV, Kim? And then they hold me accountable for Kim's actions. But since playing shady, I think in Johannesburg, I haven't been out much just because of COVID-19 and social distancing, and we're always wearing our masks, so people can't even see your face.
Mm.
But I'm thinking when I go back to Cape Town, things can be quite exciting.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Of course, yes. So let's start a bit with childhood. I mean, just give us a brief where we grew up. Of course, in the first part of your life, you were in Paul, then you moved. But where you grew up, family life, was family always sporty or theater? I mean, just give us a brief rundown on how it was as a kid in the Green family.
So I grew up in Paul for the first 11 years of my life. And I went to William Lloyd Primary School. And I come from a huge family, the Green family in Paul. And then my mom's family are the de Klerks and Masons, but they're from the Northern Cape. So growing up in Paul, I was closer to my Paul family, and they weren't really theatre orientated at all, very sporty, academic kind of people. So I think I was definitely the black sheep when I decided to pursue acting, but they're all embracing me very well, so that's great. And then when I was 12, I moved over to the Helderberg area, so that's Gordon's Bayside, and attended school there, matriculated at Hottendorf Holland High School. And I would say, just in general, my childhood was like most other people's childhood. It had a healthy balance between challenging times and wonderful memories, all the right juices to make you into the best version of yourself. So I'm very grateful for every single thing I got to experience. Yeah, I think as a kid, no one would have thought I would ever go into acting. My act was verschrikkelijk skaam. I was incredibly shy and introverted, which I still am today. But I mean, this is what I do.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us, so you finish matric and you say, Mom and Dad, I'm going to become an actor. And they say, ach, nee, my kind, follow your dreams. Or how did that conversation go? Was there other plan as well?
Not exactly. See, I did a lot of tests and things to figure out what direction I should be going into. And I knew I was passionate about the arts, but the long-term goal was never to act. It was always to produce and direct and create content. So I didn't go and study acting. I studied the technical side of drama, which is stage management, editing, videography, directing, that sort of thing. So my parents very much supported me in that. They knew it could be challenging because the industry is quite difficult, just like any other industry, but it has its particular challenges that people are very aware of. So they kind of prepared me for that, but mostly they saw the passion that I had. I did all my research. I was very passionate. It wasn't just something I thought of overnight. So they supported me unconditionally. And when I started acting, they were very confused. I remember when I started playing Kim, they were very confused, and then eventually they got used to it, and now they're loving Shady.
Yeah, so I also read that we were a head girl as well, and I mean, so there's a bit of leadership as well.
I was the head girl at Hottendorf Holland High School in, I think it was 2014, and my sister was the head girl the previous year.
Okay.
So she handed over to me, and that was very special because we made history as the first siblings that were heads consecutively at the school. And yeah, I took up a leadership position at school. I think that prepared me for a lot. I think school's it's a very important time of your life. People mustn't take it for granted. That prepared me for a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, how challenging must it be to be matric this year? I mean, no matric of skate, and they tell you to rewrite science, and I mean, how hectic must that be?
It's incredibly stressful, and I think we can't downplay just how stressful it can be for children just because they are young. I think it can be something that causes great anxiety. So it's so important for us, not just the parents of the children, but people of the community. If we know somebody that has a kid, just to be supportive, emotionally supportive. letting people know that we can be there for you if you need help, and everything's going to be okay, and that things will work out the way they should, and it's not the end of the world if things are difficult now. You can rise up again. I think that's a very important lesson that we need to reiterate over and over again, just so that people don't feel like failures. Because I think it's very easy after a year like this year to go on a downward spiral and then feel like a failure. We shouldn't be judging ourselves and one another, especially after a year like 2020.
Yeah, and I mean, being in theatre in South Africa also has its challenges. I mean, have you ever been in that space where you just thought, yes, Beata, I don't think I want to do this anymore. This is too much hard work. I need to do something else. Have you ever been in there, and what did you do to get out of it?
Not that it was too much hard work, because I think if you're passionate enough about, especially in the arts, about what you do, you don't mind the work that goes into it. I think sometimes it's the conditions around the work, and there being certain injustices or people feeling like they're being a little bit exploited. And I think it's normal within, like with most jobs, that you have your times where you feel like you're not being treated the way that you should be treated. But those are also opportunities to grow and to make changes. Because I mean, I always say you're put in the world and you need to leave it a better place than you got it. So things aren't going to come to you perfectly. And that's kind of what I try and take in my stride when something poses a challenge at work or even in my industry. I try and think of ways, how can I build onto this and make it easier, not only for me, but for the next people coming after me. But yeah, it's definitely, I would say, not the work, too much work, but rather just conditions, working conditions. I think our artists need a lot more than what they're currently being given, because
No,
we play a very
100%.
important role in our society.
No, 100%. So, I mean, do you have someone, like when you are down, who's the first person you have on speed dial to chat to? Would you like get guidance from?
When I'm down, the first thing I do is pray. Just honest, that's the first thing I do. When I do contact somebody, I've already had my moment of prayer, my moment of meditation. If I need to vent, I've got my people. I would call my parents, some of my closest friends. A mentor in the industry that I have is Melanie Dubois, and she always gives me very good advice. But like I said, I always just go and I pray, and I find that centers me and grounds me a lot.
Yeah, talking about Melanie, she was here, I think 2 weeks ago, and she did a small workshop in New Orleans. And we had like, we gave 4 or 5 tickets away. And the evening we called the people that were attended, and they were like in tears because they thought this is such an amazing experience to be with Melanie up front, and they got certificates afterwards. But it was like, yeah, it was really cool. It was really, really cool. Some of them enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me something. So we in Joburg, how's the shift from Western Cape to Joburg? How's that been?
It's been lovely. I don't know if I just got very lucky, but the people that I've been surrounded by, not just even at work, just literally in the community, at the nearest store, everybody's been so friendly. I remember for the first while after living here, I was taking Ubers, and I remember being so surprised. The Uber drivers were incredibly nice. I would arrive at work every single day feeling motivated or inspired because I'd heard one or other story. So I think the people are what made it very exciting, and I'm really enjoying the weather. I don't know if that's weird because some people complain about it, but the fact that you experience so many seasons in one day, that it can rain and it can be hot and all that stuff. Johannesburg's been good for me.
Nice,
Really.
man. Tell me a bit about this entrepreneurial bug that you have. What are we doing?
The entrepreneurial bug. Okay, so at the moment, because 2020 has been a very, like we've established now, challenging year. So at the moment, that's on a pause.
Okay.
But it's something that I started in 2018 already. I think it's so important, like I said earlier, when there's boundaries in your work, to create opportunities for yourself, right? So I was very interested, and am still very interested, in community development. So I started a business that focuses on, like the event you spoke about, Melanie having the workshop with the acting and training people, anything that offers a service to the community, organizing events that maybe as a workshop or leadership camp for young school children, just community orientated things. That's all that it was focused on. And it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I will still love to do going into 2021.
Yeah.
I'm very sad that this year limited it so much.
Yeah, but I think this the Sivandalan stint also would have kept you quite busy also for the rest of the year. When you were chatting about like when you were a bit down, and it's not about a lot of work, it's almost like the one thing that popped up when you were saying about the injustices. It was the one thing that the term I like, that I think it was last year, is that take up space term. And it's such a small term, but it means so much. And I mean, that's probably what you're trying to say in the environment that you are in, that take up space for what is yours.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so what's your views on that take up space term? I mean, how does it what does it resonate for you?
For me, I mean, as a woman, as a young woman of color, I think growing up, a lot of times from my personal experience, we are expected to play smaller and to know our place and almost be somewhat apologetic for taking up too much space and being too loud or too vivacious. And this is something that resonates very personally with me. And I think culturally that owes a lot to why I'm so introverted and so reserved, is because of years and years of conditioning on what a good lady should be like. And I think the whole idea of taking up space is really just coming into your own, standing on your own 2 feet, being unapologetic about yourself. You can still be respectful, you can still be humble, you can still be considerate, but you don't need to be scared to be your best and fullest version of yourself. You don't need to be embarrassed to say what you feel and to chase your dreams, and you can be unapologetically yourself, you know. And I think once we take up space in our own right and be unapologetically ourselves, it's so much easier to embrace one another. I think very easily in our communities, when we are rejecting parts of ourselves, we tend to reject those parts in other people as well, and then we've got awkward social dynamics between one another where we're not fully embracing and fully supporting one another. That starts, charity starts at home. And I think that with the taking up space, each person needs to take up their space, because we're each a ball of energy and love, and we should live that out completely and fearlessly, you know.
Wow, that was like a Miss World answer to my question on the podium.
Thank you.
Yeah, so madam, tell me, give me the pinch myself moment in Beata's life, like Beata's life. What's that moment where you thought, oh, wow, girl, it's really happening to me?
It happens so often, eh?
Oh,
And for
wow,
small
nice.
stuff. And for small stuff, but it's not even a pinch myself, it's a breakout and dance while no one's watching kind of moment. And I'm finding myself at a very beautiful stage of my life right now where I can experience that feeling from small things, like literally, if I love a certain food, like a sushi, and I can afford to go and get myself that sushi after going and acting for a day, come home, be in my own space, that for me is such a privilege. And I'll find myself just going, oh my goodness, how blessed am I not? And I'll just have a little dance party for one. And it happens so often. It really does. I would say more so for the little things than for the bigger moments.
Yeah. You're speaking about the small things. It's like when I was a student, I drove my first car probably with 4 months without a starter. So wherever I went, I always had to park on the hill, or when I had someone there to push me. And
Oh
just this,
no.
and just last week, I was like in and out of my car doing a few things, and I think it's so awesome just to be able to start my car and it starts, and I don't have to worry. So it's almost like, wow, it's the small things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we shouldn't be
Um,
taking it for granted.
yeah, no, 100%. Madam, I also saw that you won a competition to be Miss SA for a day with, I think it was Laura Liesel. And I
Right.
mean, yeah,
Hmm.
I saw the video, and that must have been an awesome experience. Was the
Yes,
competition?
it was a competition. I was 19 years old, my first year in varsity, and I
Okay.
entered this competition, and it was the first competition they'd ever had like that. And what happens is you enter posting a picture of you with a crown on it, And then they
Okay.
pick a winner, and you spend the weekend with Miss Essa, and you go to the Durban July, and you become Miss South Africa for a day.
Oh,
But
wow.
I think the reason I won was actually why I thought I wouldn't win, which is because I
Mm.
didn't have a crown. So I took tinfoil and I made a crown, and I showed my
Oh,
process, and then I won, and I got to go to the Durban July, and it was educational. I learned so much and gained so much respect for the Miss South Africa platform as well, just because you see how much work goes into it. You see on social media everything looks beautiful and easy, but when you're there, it's a lot of hard work and takes a lot of social skills, patience, stamina.
mm.
So it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah. So tell me, what's your, I mean, like, as a woman, the Miss SA, I mean, the new, not the new, but just how the winners are not just picked on, just chosen on beauty. It's just like this whole diverse type of winner.
Mm.
What's your views of like the Miss SA? Like, it's becoming such a feel good type of
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like previous, it's totally different
absolutely.
from before. It's like, what's your view on that?
I think it's lovely. I think it's amazing. Just like everything else in the world, it's evolving, and it's become so much more inclusive, and you see so much representation of different types of women, and that's amazing. It's what needs to happen. It's what people need to see. It's what young girls need to see growing up. Different bodies, different complexions, different occupations, different viewpoints. So for me, I think we're moving in the right direction. I'm very excited about the future of the Miss South Africa competition and what they've got to offer for the country. Yeah,
Yeah, but and I mean, it's again that of take up space. I mean, you're getting people from different people
yeah,
that never thought that they could take up that space, be there. Now, I
exactly.
mean, that's what I'm saying. That's
Exactly,
saying
that
for women.
years ago you wouldn't have seen in that position, and that now get to flourish and show that they're just as worthy to be in that position as any other girl that met the requirements of the past. No, definitely. I think taking up space, absolutely, cementing yourself, like Zosie said, it's so important. And what the direction they're moving into now is really agreeing with that message they're trying to send out there. Mm.
Mm. Oh, definitely. So I know we only have a very little time with Beata, so I've got 10 questions for you, and yeah, we're just gonna get to know Beata a bit better quickly. So 10, maybe 12 questions, depends how you answer.
Okay.
If you had supper with three people, dead or alive, which would the three people be?
Supper.
Supper. Mm.
Mother Teresa,
Mm.
the Dalai Lama, and Gandhi.
Okay. If you could be on a stage with anybody singing, who would it be and what instrument would you be playing?
Are they
Singing.
singing and I'm playing an instrument?
No, there's a singer, your favorite singer, and your favorite instrument, and you're on stage. Who would it be, and what instrument would you be playing?
Okay. If I was performing, I wouldn't perform with my favorite, but someone that I think I would enjoy it with, and that'd be Beyonce. And I'd
Okay.
either be
Mm.
playing the electric guitar or the piano.
Okay. Can we play, or we still on the bucket
No, we
list?
cannot. But I think I missed my calling in life. I really do. I think I should have been a musician.
Yeah, I've got this dream of waking up one day to be able just to play the piano,
Absolutely.
and to be able to like just fix the pipes at home like plumber. I don't have to phone someone, so I just want to be able to do that. um,
I like that.
what what series should the world be watching?
Oh, there's so many great ones.
Except Timberland,
Um,
sorry.
South African,
No, no, well, like Netflix. Like, I mean,
international.
what are you thinking? Yeah.
Well, I love Big Little Lies,
Okay.
and I'm just going to leave it there because I think everyone should just go and watch that. Brilliant
Okay.
cast, brilliant performances, brilliant storylines, very inspiring, very real. I would recommend Big Little Lies.
Cool. Fondest childhood memory. Like, what's the one memory that you're like, that was good. That was a good time in my life.
Okay. So just before I left Paul, my parents got divorced, and we were busy. We were in the process of splitting up as a family, and I discovered that there was this little heater in my mom's bedroom, my parents' bedroom, that I never knew existed. And I went and I sat next to the heater one day and it used to blow air. And then I just got this great sensation of like complete relaxation and I would fall asleep. So I would come every single day and I would sit by the heater every single day for the last month of staying in Paul and just sleep there after school. And I would get so excited. And I don't know what it was about. I think it was just comforting, the sound of the heater blowing the air, the feeling of the warmth, sitting in the house knowing I'm leaving. It was such a beautiful moment of appreciation for what I had. And I think at such a young age, it isn't something I experienced before because then you just experience life. You don't take a moment to take it in and go, this is great. And that was the first time I actually sat down and went, this is great.
Yeah. You say you have a big family. What are we talking? 6, 7 family members all together in one house? What's a big family?
Yes, I've got 5. We're 5 siblings. I've got 4 brothers and sisters, which are 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and then I have my 2 parents. But then my extended family is quite big. So I've got
Okay.
many uncles, and aunties, and cousins, and second cousins. Yeah.
Yeah. So were we sporty at school? Was a big family like that?
Yeah, absolutely. We were very, very sporty.
Okay.
Everybody, I think, was just naturally gifted, and we tall people. So we did the long jump and the high jump and the cross countries and that sort of thing.
Okay, cool. What inspires you? What makes you wake up in the morning?
That's a very good question. I would say my passion and purpose in life, and you don't always know what your purpose is, but you know what your passion is, and the passion most likely would lead you to your purpose. So I've got a very good relationship with the Lord, and I pray every night for direction. So the excitement of the purpose that you have for that day, the happy moments that you get to experience, the people you get to see, I try and just make the most out of the small things. So I'd say the passion and the purpose of the day.
Cool, man. And then just tell me. So we have Arensvlei and we have Sivendelaan. Did we go for auditions? And when you went for auditions, how was the experience? And what did you get the phone call? And where were you when you got the phone call? And who did you call first on both of the occasions?
So Arensvlei went for audition in person.
Okay.
One audition, and then I got the call. I think 2 months later that I got the part. I was in the car waiting for my mom in the shop. She was buying some groceries. And then she's the first person I told. I think I called my dad. Yes, I called my dad. I called him and I said, this is what happened. And he was very excited for me. And the second time was with Sivendelaan. I sent in a digital audition, got a call back, sent another audition, and then I got the call while I was with my dad. So he was again the first person I told. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Very
Nice.
exciting.
Yeah, I can imagine. So when you got the call for Sivendelaan, was it like dream come true moment? Was it like,
I was excited
yeah.
because initially I didn't like the role of Krishanda because she's very, very out there. But then when I started looking into the character, I thought I can make this work. There's people like this in the world. Let's see. It looks like a lot of fun. So I really wanted it by the time that I got the job. And the day that I got it, I just had a funny feeling. I remember this day because that morning I got up and went to the hair salon. I was about to cut off all my hair. And then I sat in the chair and I thought to myself, no, I don't think I'm going to because maybe, just maybe I'll hear from Sivendelaan still. And I remember feeling so grateful and happy that day. And just, even at the hair salon, I was saying a prayer while I was under the dryer and saying, thank you that I get to do this. And when I got home, I took a nap. When I woke up from the nap, I got the call. I just got the job. And I would have cut off all my hair that morning. And our audition was long, obviously. So it was crazy.
So what do we wake up in the morning and decide to cut your hair off? What's the thinking?
No. It was something that came on for a while.
All right.
I wanted a change after Arensvlei. And then I thought the thing with Sivendelaan didn't happen because I didn't hear from them for 2 weeks. And then I thought, okay, this is the right, I can cut it now. But then on the day, I just thought, maybe, just maybe, I'm still going to hear from Sivendelaan.
Nice. And we got the call. Amazing. Yeah, so if Beata was not an actor, what would you have been?
An architect or a lawyer.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Or even maybe a psychiatrist.
Nice, nice. What did you tell your 20-year-old self?
My 20-year-old self.
What is that, 4
What
years
would I
ago?
tell? 4 years ago.
Yeah, what would you tell
Let me
yourself?
think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would just say enjoy life and be yourself unapologetically. Take up space.
There we
That's what I would
go.
say.
Yeah. No, awesome.
Mm.
So if you had a song that represents where you are in life now, what would that song be?
Wow, that's a tough one.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, Beyonce. We run the world.
oh, Beyonce, Grown Woman. You know that
Is it?
song? I'm a
Yeah, I
grown
know
woman. I can do whatever I want. I
that.
think that one, because the thing is, you've got the liberty to do whatever you want to,
Mm,
but you still
mm,
have your principles, your values, your foundation to direct you in making the right choices. Feels nice to be
mm,
at a place and in a time where I've got so much freedom as a grown woman to be
mm,
able to do exactly what I want to do, but then also access to education and direction from different sources so that I can make the right choices with that freedom, if you know what I
mm.
mean. Yeah.
100% know what you mean. Okay, and third, lastly, if we were president for the day and you had all the powers of the country, what were the first three things you would do?
If I was president for the day, first three things I would do is I would assign people to find every single orphanage in the entire country and just figure out exactly what is needed there to make the living situation as conducive as possible for the young kids to be growing up to be their best selves under the circumstances. Secondly, I would apply that same train of thought to the schooling system so that I can make sure every single child in this country has the same opportunities when it comes to being educated. So that you don't have a kid going to a private school having this amazing opportunities to become somebody in comparison to someone going to a government school. And then thirdly, healthcare. I would make sure that a lot less funds goes to things that aren't necessarily as detrimental to people being alive and being okay. And this includes mental health also. I would pump just money and time and attention into making sure that we've got facilities that can accommodate people with mental illness, physical well-being, especially the government, the public hospitals. Just make sure everybody's got that basic needs and rights just covered. Because I mean, we all have these rights, but at the same time, they aren't always accessible or convenient.
Mm,
I want those
mm,
things to be convenient. You know,
mm,
every
mm,
child should have the right education. Every child should have the right home to live in. Every person should have good medical care. That would be what I would do, most definitely.
mm, mm. It's the second time you touched on it. Is mental health something close to the heart?
It is close to the heart, not for any specific reason, I would say, but I do know I have a few people in my close circle that have suffered from mental illness, and I think it's something that is so still today, still so stigmatized
Mm,
because people associate the fact that it's mental
mm,
with mind and mindset only, as opposed to it being something that's actually also physiological, that's biological, that has to do with chemical imbalances in your body. So I think we need to continue to highlight the fact that it is very important to nourish your mental health and to make sure that people are being taken care of holistically so that we can
mm,
have like a well-functioning society, because you've got so many people walking with mental illnesses and diseases around and they don't realize that that's what they're dealing with, and they're trying so hard to just change the way they think, but it actually needs a little bit more than that. It needs therapy and help and sometimes even medication.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, and then yeah, that was a nice answer. You have good answers for all these questions. Almost like I gave you questions before, but I didn't. Um, so
Thank
yeah, just
you.
yeah. So last two questions is what are the big goals? So I'm not going to say 5-year plan, but what would you still want to achieve in your lifetime? Okay, first answer that, then I'll answer the next one. So like, what the big goals? What's the next let's call it 2 years, and then 10 years, and then lifetime, and then I'll ask you the next question.
I would definitely, if I'm thinking immediately career-wise, I would definitely like to explore more opportunities, play different roles, get to expose different working environments and production houses, and maybe even work abroad. I would say financially, the goal would be to have freedom and safety and security so that I can provide for the people around me as well. I can actually create more jobs for other people. That's something I'm very passionate about. And then just living my absolute best life, regardless of whichever way things go, and staying grounded and rooted in my faith and my relationship with God, and making sure that I'm living with love and with purpose.
Sure, you've got good answers, madam. Very good. And then, yeah, so we in the town hall here in Perel's Main Road, and we at the Beata Bena Day, and all the young girlies and boys are coming from all the primary schools, and tell them how to make their dreams come true as an inspiring actor or actress. What's the secret?
The secret, I think, is different for every single person. You need to figure out what it is that you need. But what I can say from my experience is that you need to believe in yourself 110%. You cannot wait for somebody else to tell you that you should or can do something, to tell you that you're good at it, to tell you that you should do it. That's not always going to happen. Nobody came to me and told me, you look like you should be an actor, or you've got potential, go and do acting. It's something I chose to do and worked on by myself when no one was watching. So believe in yourself 110%. And then also a very important thing, anything that seems like a challenge or a setback in life that is difficult can be seen as an opportunity to grow and become stronger. Because if you want a skyscraper, the higher you want it to go, the deeper the foundation has to go for it to be able to stand up straight and not fall over. So when things happen to you that are challenging and difficult, grab it as an opportunity to become stronger and to use it as leverage to make your dreams come true and to go further in life. And then always stay grounded and always live with love. Love in your heart.
You heard, that was Beata. You heard, she pointed a finger. Then when someone points a finger, you should be taking it very serious. Madam, yeah, I feel I can chat to you for the next half an hour, because you've got some serious value bombs in that that mind of yours. It's like really, yeah, they hit the heart. Brilliant, like tick, like thumbs up. Yeah, so madam, thank you for your time. I know you came fresh from work, and you're probably still in your work clothes, so thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And also good luck with your future dreams and your future goals, especially at Sivandalan and your actors. And yeah, just like keep inspiring, because you've got this energy. So I'm feeling, yeah, I feel inspired. Thank you. That's a good conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all that you do for the community back in Paul and everyone that can access this page right now. Love your work.
Thank you, madam. I think we will chat again, because now I know more about Beata. Okay, goodbye, madam. Thank you so much.
Bye, Amma.
Bye.